issue is what's coming to this landfill. So you have,
So I can try to.
That's fine.
Phone deal, so I don't know if you guys can see it from there. So this is a truck that's backed into the building, and he's gonna unload into a hopper.
Coming from a residential lot facility.
We only accept municipal solid waste pretty much for these types of trucks.
so is the size of the truck bigger than what is normal?
I would say it's a typical trash truck that you see in a residential neighborhood, but, so here's the truck that's opening up the back hopper door, and now you'll be able to see the inside, so it's a hopper that we're dumping into.
Right.
And now you'll see like some trucks here, and this is the hopper he's dumping into.
Standard operation on most on most transfer stations, they get dumped on a flat floor
Yes.
and then reloaded.
So as you see how this load comes out, it's virtually impossible for us to stop that. And that's why I say that our employees.
They have a garage.
So then once it goes in,
We
It's-
can't stop
it's gone?
It's, if you can
Go right
catch it,
down,
by-
right?
catch it by eye, you
So-
can
About 10
catch
feet
one.
down.
So here's what he catches. So here's a tire right here.
You have to, that's what
And
you
there's
have
one
to.
more.
Confined space
But
entry.
he has to catch it in the
He
loop,
has
not
to
in the
catch
hopper.
it at this
And it gets
inspection
into the
site.
hopper, it's there.
Well, from there, we can pull them out if we can see them. So what they're gonna do here is they're gonna stop it, but again, he's videotaping so this is where the trash falls into the compactor unit and gets pushed into the trailer. So, unfortunately, we're trying to show you what happens.
Enclosed trailers and there's a compact.
And it's just an
goes
inside,
back and
actually,
forth
the
as it
truck backs
falls,
into
and
the
it goes
building.
Yeah.
into the
How
trailer.
big is the floor the truck backs onto?
The truck barely fits in the building.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, so
that-
front bump.
It
That
just really
resi
wasn't
truck right
designed
there,
originally for this.
that bumper's at the door on
Yeah.
that resi truck. I've been there.
And this is
Oh,
a
you're gonna
residential
show you?
route?
That's a residential coming in from the town.
So I'm sorry if
That
I'm-
particular area is a residential in Sunrise, yes.
This is an ignorant question, but so how does that debris, how does that all get into the truck? Is it your man going in?
It's not us, it's, we're the receiving end.
So you're, so
That
this
truck's
comes
not
to
ours,
your,
it's a customer.
all right,
That's
thanks.
someone like picking up Southbridge, the guys just in the.
And then they back it in.
In it goes, it's in a barrel, whatever, it's like I said, the plastic bags, the tied in plastic bags.
And you have a transfer station.
This is how it works.
Yes.
So they have two bays, okay? So that resi truck you saw was backed in this way and dumping in a hopper. So then they have an enclosed trailer here, and it just, I don't know if I have that line right, that's kind of what I remember.
It's good.
Is that it takes from this hopper and pushes into the truck here.
Like a compactor?
Yes.
But it's just a 100-yard trailer instead of the compactor you see at the grocery store. But it's the same process.
So I have a question
Yes.
that I asked the other companies that came in here. Do you find or do you add on to the bill itself? If, let's just say you go over here to the landfill and our guy catches it, obviously annotates it. Do you go back and recoup that fine from, let's just say, the residential, the people that pick it up from the residential area?
I can't find the customer themselves.
Not the customer, but the guy that's driving that truck, the name that's on that truck.
If we catch it.
If we catch items, so if our system has been similar to yours, if we have to pull that tire out of the load, we charge for $30 or $40, $30 or $40 per tire, and they have to pay that fee. So we try to use the financial incentive to not to bring them to us. And again, we do pull a significant amount out.
We have a whole 30 act full, just specifically for tires and. You doing that one for tires too, Doug?
Yeah, so I brought our annual report. Last year we did 6 tons worth of tires. And
That you removed from the waste stream?
From the waste stream, so.
Through this procedure, which is,
So let me just ask, just ballpark figures. This fine is for November, just November, okay? What was the breakdown? How many tires?
40, there were 40 violations, not necessarily copies.
40 violations, right.
The fine was for $4,000.
Okay, 40 violations. So, all right. Do you have the data for the month before that?
If I can give a brief presentation.
Yeah, I cut you off. Do you have anything before Andy, before he where he,
So since that fine, since I was talking with him, he was in the area of South Region, and we stopped taking loads from them because of this problem, because we can't control it. So our loads are coming from another facility, which is controlled because it's dumped on the floor. It was in one of my emails.
okay,
That, you know, the process is different, the loads dumped on the floor, we can control it with an excavator, except the ones that get in the plastic bag, what have you, but, so you'll see in the, you know, the past waste management hasn't been, it's just, problems been solved as far as.
when did you start that? When did you stop taking,
Once we got this, with these letters.
in November, or like December?
December, yeah,
So-
probably that towards the end of December, maybe, middle of December,
Okay, all right.
when I started.
But at least by January.
Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, definitely,
Yeah, and with your regulations, that would not be the type of facility that should be dumping in landfill. I think we realize that as well, because we don't have that ability to capture. And if it's upsetting you and it's causing you guys grief, it's causing us grief, and we know what our limitations are based on the size of the building and how we handle material.
Basically, the red flag on it was we brought a load up and I had, you know, maybe except for one padwood. So that was a red flag to us, and we can't control that stuff, and the sheets come out of the truck, so we just, we'll send the stuff we can control for Southbridge versus stuff we can't control.
And do you own the grading facility? Do you run that too?
No, we don't own that facility. We have a partnership with Waste Management.
Or waste management runs it?
We want it with Waste Management.
Can I ask one question for you? What do you recover on fines yearly, monthly? What do you think?
Fines would,
You said you recovered 6 tons of tires. When you pull them, you say you'll go back to the whoever's dumping them and you'll fine them, or you'll
we
fine
assess
them?
a fee.
A fee.
So it's instantaneous, so that truck that you saw dumping,
Yep.
we would have written them up for 2 tires and charged them $60.
So what do you keep any records of how much you fine individuals? What do you get in fines?
I don't know that we track it per se, per customer. Our goal is not to have to pull the trucks out and pull material out of those hoppers.
Right.
So we try our best to police the customers if we do comprehensive load inspections.
As well as the DEP does it as well.
We do our best to limit the material that we take in. So we used to take in commercial trucks. And one of the problems we had with commercial trucks was it was commercial businesses, and if a customer didn't recycle cardboard and they had a big container, it would trip our rejection system. And again, so once it gets in that hopper, we can't get all that material out. So we limited ourselves to residential, municipal type trash that's coming from the curbside. And we feel that that material is typically policed pretty well because the towns have a recycling program, and in our area, in the southeastern Mass area, a lot of residents and towns have gone with toters, with the toter for trash and a toter for recycling, and it's a single stream, so we don't see a lot of like the bottles, cans, paper type violations. What we're seeing is, again, the tires. Somebody puts a tire inside that toter, and it gets dumped into a truck.
Okay,
So you don't really keep track of the fines you receive as these type of penalty payments?
Fines that we receive from.
Yeah, so if I'm bringing a load into your facility, I dump 10 tires, you'd come over to me and say, hey, you owe us for 10 tires. So you keep track of that?
We have it in the database for sure, but not something that we look at on a regular basis. It's not often, but again, we limited our waste stream because of it.
Right. Okay.
And because of the difficulties that we have, because we used to take construction waste at one point in some of the trucks. And when the DEP regulated construction waste had to be processed before it was sent for disposal, we would have a truck show up and it would be 90% wood. And, you know, it's a different style truck that empties out, it's all a one dumpster type thing. And the front of the load would be all wood. You know, the burden would fall on us. You know, what happens when, you know, you guys know, when you guys see too much material, you reject the load completely, Now it comes back to us, and we actually have to bring it to a transfer station and unload it and pay another company to handle that waste, because in Dedham, we don't have the ability to dump on the tipping floor. Remove it, so that's why we're vigilant.
Okay, Andy?
Recycle Solutions hauled to the landfill until 2016. Then they had a seizure, if you will, and they stopped, but they started hauling again last October, towards the end of October. At the end of every month, Anna sends a letter to every facility, basically giving them an update of how they're doing. You know, in the month of October, you have this many. Some of them are thank you letters for being compliant, some of them are penalty letters. So, if that system works the way it's supposed to work, they should have gotten a notice at the end of October of the number of violations that were in their trailers, even if it didn't exceed our threshold. So they would have been aware of the policy that we find about 26. November, they came in and exceeded the 26, they had 40 violations. The letter went out on the 6th.
The 6th of,
December,
for the violation.
for the violations, notifying them that they were in violation of the policy and that there was a $4,000 fine. The last date that they came in was the 8th of December. So they stopped hauling here as their solution to prevent sending banned items to the facility. My understanding, and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, is that they started shipping to Raynham, where their loads could be dumped on the floor and spread out and picked. Raynham has been coming into the landfill with shy of one a day. They came in mid-December. So from the 11th to the 14th, they were coming in, averaging just about or below one a day. So the system works, but it's just the month of November that's in question. So there is a solution that Recycle Solutions has implemented and is working by sending it to Raynham first. But
Okay.
what's on the table is the November.
Is the fine for the November, the 40 tires, 40 waistband. All right, let's go around the table. Let's see.
I got one question. When you guys have to, let's say you find the tire, obviously you said 6 tons, I think you said last year, that you guys sent away, how much is it kind of like per tire that you get charged from a company that brings in waste bay and stuff? Do you have an average estimated cost? Like maybe not tire, maybe pallet or?
You're talking about when you dump tires that would go out of waste stream?
Yeah, the stuff that you grab, and then obviously you have to get rid of it.
Oh, so I can get rid of a whole 30-yard full of tires for $150,
Okay,
just to give you an idea.
got it.
That's 30 yards worth of tires.
So you use,
Watch
You know,
tire.
maybe,
Watch tire down in, what's that name?
Raynham?
He's in New Bedford, we
Yeah.
also use
F&B,
F&B and
rubberized.
as long as they're not using coral reefs. Yeah.
Truck tires or more.
We're trying to identify a place to get the tires, so I think it's like, the only one I know of is Rufia.
Yeah, so Ruth is in
Yeah.
air. We go to JP Ruthia too in air.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Dave?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Go on. So we have potentially a series of votes.
Can I ask one more
Yeah.
question? You're bringing this request for an appeal basically 3 months later. Do you have intention of sending loads from Dedham back yet?
No.
Okay.
Can't
I don't
control
think-
the waste stream so it's not worth it to bring it to the landfill, it's just not worth it. To solve the problem, obviously.
Yeah, we couldn't guarantee that we would be able to deliver you material that you would accept.
You didn't want to sit at this table again.
Nothing against you.
Love the ride. Love the rides.
Thanks, Gary.
So I would, without objection, that the first vote would be to deny the appeal, right? So,
Somebody that,
No,
no.
there would have to be a motion put on either to deny the appeal and hold the 4,000, uphold the appeal and eliminate the 4,000, or a motion to do anything in between adjusting the penalty. Those are the three
So-
motions that could be made.
so presented, so if somebody wants to make a motion to,
I will make a motion to uphold the appeal, and it sounds like you guys are really acting responsibly and you've taken all the actions to rectify the situation. So I'd be looking to waive the fee.
waive the fee, or, okay, so well, you have to do things in two steps. So you're willing
Well,
to
so uphold the appeal.
uphold appeal, but not necessarily to bring it down to zero, because we can modify it after this, right?
So
So,
one thing
So
at
at
a time,
least,
and
yeah.
it's uphold, then I'll make a motion to uphold the appeal.
okay,
Um,
so there's like a couple of things here.
Complete motion. If it is to support the appeal and eliminate the fine, then it's support the appeal.
Well, that's what I'm
Once he
concerned
makes,
about.
once he puts forth a motion to uphold the appeal, it's done, the appeal is upheld.
Right, and that's what I want to be
So
careful
a
about.
complete motion, if it's to uphold the appeal, then we're done. If it's to, and then, even then it wouldn't be upholding the appeal, it would be
Modify.
modifying the
Right.
penalty or deny the appeal.
Right, because I see there's multiple votes. So let's go with that motion here first. So the motion is to uphold the appeal and eliminate the fines. We have a motion, do we have a second? Seeing none, the motion fails. So would you like to make another motion, Mr. Pascali?
I'll make another motion to uphold the appeal.
Not.
No, because we're about to modify
Yeah,
the fees.
to what? Make a, throw out a number.
The current penalty is at $4,000.
And I think you know where then I would think, I look at the video, while I understand there's rules and regs that you're following from the state, which obviously don't really apply to Southbridge. They do, but they don't. So I would say to reduce it by 50%.
To
To
have the
$2,000.
appeal, to deny the appeal, but reduce it to 2,000.
Correct.
Okay. There's a motion, is there a second? Okay, there's a second. So David?
Third, fourth, and fifth.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor of reducing it to $2,000? All those, okay. All right. That's, it's the best we can do. Okay.
And I will make a motion to close the 5:30 public hearing.
Okay, a motion and a second. All those in discussion, all those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Thanks, gentlemen, for coming out.
Thank you.
Thanks for seeing us, appreciate it.
Thank you. So we've closed the Recycling Solutions appeal. We are back to, I would say, agenda item 6B. Would you say that's where we would go now?
Yes.
I think you had one citizen request.
Oh,
You said-
yes.
So
I
I can
think
move
we
on.
should.
Yeah, but do you want to do fee schedule first, or you want to go
So
to,
you set the agenda.
if people can make a motion. I'm going to go through the agenda as it is, As it is set.
27 minutes, so.
what's that? And if somebody wants to make a motion to take something out of order, then by all means, we'll make that motion. And I
So
just-
I'll make a motion to open back up citizens forum for the one question, or replace the 6B with that citizens forum, that one question.
Okay, Good.
460.
It's not replacing, it's just we're going back. Do we have a second? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, all right, so where you have the question on the blight,
Just like, no,
and
that's wrong.
you had, we're going back to citizen forum. Understand the citizen forum is really time to tell us your thoughts, so we're not always have the luxury to tell you what our decision is until there's a discussion about it. Okay, all right?
I'm just curious about the blight. I mean, we have some issues right now, and I know 9 Rose Street is still there. I drive by it every day. There's a lot of other blighted areas in town. There's the downtown area. I drove by there last weekend. It doesn't look any different to me. In fact, it looks worse. I also heard that the Edwards block was flooded. Did you know anything about that?
Edwards Block has significant water damage due to some broken water heaters in the apartments above. Both the building inspector and my board of health inspector are working on this one. Contract has been, I believe as of today, the contract has been granted. They've had meetings today discussing the expense. Board of Health has told them they have to go into the ceiling to determine the extent of mold and remove mold to the point where there is no more visible mold. But the contract, I believe, has been granted today, and he should be able to pull a permit to do the work in short order. 9 Rose Street, call from the owner. He expects to have F&D trucking in before the 14th to pull a permit to demo that one. I don't know when it's going to be coming down, but we will at least have a permit, and on the permit, we will require him to write down when he plans to start the action. 80 Hamilton, finally found the owners, got in touch with the owners. I had KPS on them, one that I couldn't exercise because they were in Florida, and it would cost me more to go down and get them and bring them back than it would to take the building down. But 80 Hamilton, I am working with them right now to get an agreement to hold the town harmless to enter the property and take down the building and all accessory buildings. 58 Pine Street, I have put it on hold until I get through the budget process. There's a couple of major documents I have to produce within the next 30 days or so. So 58 Pine Street, I am giving up on the bank. That's what I've been trying to work with the bank on. They've been promising me this, promising me that, but I can't even see any action for foreclosure on it. So I'm going to send them a message that we are going to enact Chapter 143 of the, under the building authority, and we will enter the property and take that one down. Again, we're going to start that process, so there is notification, second notification, border survey, so it's probably a 1.5 to 2 month process. Hopefully we will be moving on it by April-ish. And then 215 Hamilton Street, we are using that one as our receivership to see how receiverships work for us. That's the ugly blue building, gorgeous architecture.
We're gonna try to rehab.
The ugly blue building across from the coffee shop on Hamilton Street. We just went to court with that one to attach necessary parties. So up to now, the owner, Mr. King, has been the only party. We take this type of action and we now have to attach all of the lien holders, everybody who's got any financial interest in the property. So we're gonna go through the registry of deeds, find a whole trail, and notify them and wait for the green cards to come back, which can be 45 days sometimes. Before we can take any kind of action, we need proof that they received notification. So those are the 4 that we are working on right now. 103 Charlton Street, I don't know if you've noticed, but the new decks, he is starting to do siding. We're gonna light the fire under him because he's owned it for almost a year now, and I expect, within a year, I expect that he could at least get the blighted look out of the thing. He's still got boarded up windows, the porches look great on it, and,
Car lot on Worcester Street.
Carla on Worcester Street, we are under
636.
a 90-day order to him. I've had him in court, we
Yeah.
finally found him. I've had him in court, he's under a 90-day order. I believe that was issued at the end of December or early January. So we are looking at March before I can take further action on that one. But he's under a court order,
Central Street.
Central Street.
Your 2 buildings.
Working with the owner, I have him on contempt. I actually have a KPS on him to have him arrested and brought to court. I have an agreement with him that he will show up in court next Wednesday, or I will send the sheriff to get him.
Then we'll sell it, so somebody can fix it.
But we have tied that building into 111 Central Street. Permit was issued yesterday, I believe, for 111 Central Street, and we expect to have a roofer on that roof
Okay.
in an attempt to save Adele's business.
Yep. Good.
Thereafter, if he manages to do that by next Tuesday, if he has a person on that roof by next Tuesday, I am inclined to give him a continuance on the demolition of 66 Central Street and give him the opportunity to give us a plan to renovate 66 Central. But again, it's not going to be a duct tape renovation.
No, it's gotta be done professionally, correctly, and for some longevity.
I'm working with this lawyer right now.
So, let me, can I just, so we can finish up, real quick, we sat down with Andy this past week, myself and Roland. So we went over, what we're gonna put on the website. I know Andy's working on that now, and any help he needs, we'll do that, but we're moving forward with putting blighted properties, at least the first 10, and then move our way down, on the town website. But that's after the first offense has been null and voided pretty much. So it has to go into a second offense or a legal matter. And we're also working on the new signs to post outside their property saying this has been blighted with 2 different signs. One standardized form and another one will be the point of contact of this building is, this is where they live or this is their phone number that they can be reached at. So we're moving forward with that as well.
Pictures would be nice.
I appreciate that. I mean, it sounds like you're staying on top of it. The only thing is, I sent you an email, you know, that I looked
When?
at a couple weeks ago.
It's possible I never opened it.
The Central Street property, I'm not quite sure why you're after 100 foot on that. I know that he's a co-owner, but he's not the principal owner.
Central Street property?
Yeah. The one
100
that-
foot's the owner.
It's
Which
in the
one?
back,
Which
the
one?
one that's in the back. I forget the address.
That's the,
That is owned by Bellis Real Estate, and he is the primary embellisher.
According to the town database, he's not the primary owner.
No, what it says is, and it's probably gonna be updated very soon. What happens is, if you sell a piece of property, it'll, you Mike Marquetti, right? Your property, if you sell your property today, your property will be, continue to be listed in our database as, say you sell it to Dave Williams.
All right.
It'll say Mike Marquetti, CO Dave Williams, because it's only updated periodically. So CO doesn't mean care of, it means current owner.
I thought it meant co-owner.
No, it means
Well,
current
it
owner.
does actually have a
Yeah.
co-owner. That's all right.
So it probably says
I believe it.
Gariri and
Yes,
Bellis.
and has been Guerreri's for at least a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Downtown is, good too.
Yeah.
To the,
and the other thing with that is we're working with the lawyers to make sure we do it right, do it once, so we can't get in trouble, but we are probably more aggravated than you are with the blight.
No, sounds like.
I don't know, you're pretty aggravated, so.
Yeah, sounds like.
They're consistent,
Trust me,
not
there
aggravated,
is not a day that
consistent.
goes by
You have not
that
seen me
someone
out
is
without the
not
camera.
phoning Andy about something.
Yeah.
That's good. Sounds like
We're
everything.
not
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
I did reach out to Mr. Ron, for permission to talk to legal services regarding how far we can push it, and I made initial contact with Bob Cabrera. I spoke to Webster, and first words out of his mouth when I said, how's the Scarlet Letter program going? He says, do not do it. He says, inundated with lawyers, threatening lawsuits, so.
You go into it when people are scared.
Well,
If
anybody
we're
can
going
threaten.
here, we've got to be very careful where we go.
And that's fine, but
I
I'd rather, you know, be proactive about this than reactive.
Mm.
And these lawyers are being hired on because these people have been allowed to get away
Or
with
they're
it. And
free.
we may take our lumps here and there, and I expect that. But I think, you know, this town deserves to be proactive and aggressive in a legal manner towards these individuals who cannot take care of their properties but gain the finances from it.
I'm with you.
Well,
I think-
Especially when they just walk
And if
away.
100 foot come in here, I have no problems, you know.
I mean, well, and the other thing too, Dave, I think we need to be more aggressive with even the ones that are just, you know, grass that hasn't been cut all summer, you know, like, we need to start getting on people to make sure that they're maintaining their property so that it's not blighted. Oh no, there's a house by mine that did not mow their lawn the entire summer and
There
the
is-
grass was this
There
tall.
is no law that mandates.
It's
I don't-
blight.
I don't,
No.
Listen, it's not that I don't mow my grass, I'm cultivating a wildflower. Just change the narrative,
Just stop adding to your waterfront property over there, okay?
believe me. All right, let's move,
All right,
let's
we
move on. Okay.
Fee schedule, the board asked me to put in a definition of food pantry. I inserted a definition and forwarded it to everybody,
Yep.
looking for feedback on if that's an adequate definition, if I missed anything.
Where are you looking?
And
Under
10.4
10.4.
definitions, fifth word down.
Food
I
pantry.
know, I did the same thing. Food establishment less than a
The food establishment less than 1,000 square foot shouldn't be 1,000 square foot or less.
Okay.
Because the other one, unlimited food service, we're talking 10 square by 10 square.
Right.
Well, it's,
So 10, 12, and 10.
I'm just saying 1,000 square feet or less, food establishment. I may be wrong on that. I'm asking.
well, the one before, you know, the convenience stores has the same language of less than, so keeping it the, and market is less
yeah.
than. So if you're going to change it, you really have to change
Everything.
all of
You're
them,
right. Yeah. I
to keep everything
And then with the,
But 10 square by 10 square is,
100.
Right.
he's a mathematician,
yeah.
he's a science teacher, you gotta forgive him.
So 100 by
10
10,
by 10 is
or 50 by 20. So that's 50 by 20, that's a,
Yeah, no, that wasn't where I was going, it's okay.
food establishment less than is where.
Then it looks fine to me.
I would say once it seems consistent with the rest of it, and I would argue that once it hits that 1,000, it trips the,
Okay.
So food pantry, we gotta come up with a dollar amount,
so in the
10.5.
table of fees, I have food pantry as a blank, we came up with a definition, we gotta come up with a fee for this. I inserted up to now haulers of defensive materials, small haulers, fewer than 10 wheels or fewer. It has been a policy to set it at 150 per a vote of, I think, a year and a half ago. But it's never been officially adopted, so I have inserted that. Language change, we put portable toilets, $10 per unit. I put placement of portable toilets, I left to put the word placement before it, only because I don't want any confusion as to if you have a portable toilet company in town, we're not gonna make you permit every one of them while they're in the shop.
Okay.
And then a permit for locating donation boxes, the board at the last meeting voted $100 on that permit fee. Those are the only changes I suggested.
Didn't we have, I feel like we had a fee for the food pantry, like it was somewhere in between.
Yes, we discussed cutting it in half, I think it was
Yeah,
$75.
I think,
Never, you discussed it, it never went.
okay,
The
but
food-
I just thought that we had kind of discussed it, and I thought we kind of agreed that like somewhere in the middle was
I
okay.
didn't call, you lost me.
But the food, they're offering it, what the food pantry is different is they're offering it without compensation.
Right.
So they're not making money, so I'm.
But they still have to be inspected, do they not?
But so does temporary food, right?
Yes,
So,
but there's a fee for temporary food.
yeah, I know, so I'm more for thinking more like in the $25 range. I mean, they're just, it's just like if you're running a food
Well,
pantry
what do you think,
that's.
that they just walk in and just walk around and say, okay, yeah, you're inspected?
No, if temporary food is 20, or what about food?
Well,
But
the other
the
question
rate, but
is,
the other one is 200, so.
temporary food can be prepping, correct? Food pantry is only, here it is, take it home,
Pantry is, we receive it, here it is,
take it
take
home.
it home.
There is absolutely no prep, there is absolutely no repackaging,
Very specific.
there is none of that.
It's prepackaged food.
Bread's come out to take it to a food pantry. If,
How are we now?
How about a temporary food?
Not very long.
Yeah, so that,
45 minutes.
yeah, so that goes to your
Right, because I thought that like the discussion that we had was, okay, the convenience store is 150, the temporary is 25, and somewhere in the middle, or somewhere in the middle there, because it was not as much as this, but not as little as that.
Well, why don't you do a motion? Come up with
I
a
don't
number.
remember what we, I don't remember.
But if you're happy
It
with
was
the number, make a motion so we
It says
can.
$100.
All right, I make a motion to-
food pantry.
It does say that it was
On the
a
minutes.
I
decision.
thought we discussed.
I'm sorry, I
that.
thought we discussed it and didn't come up with a decision. 75.
Did we vote on it?
Was there a motion and acceptance?
No, there was no vote, sorry.
So currently, the discussion is at 75.
Yes.
All right, so I make a motion to have the food pantry permit set at $75.
I'll second that. Yes.
Okay, in discussion? I think because it's, I would drop that down a little bit from that, so that's my only. So, if no other discussion, I'll make, okay, all those in favor? 4 in favor, all those against, 1 against, it is 75.
Now, do you want a motion
I would-
on these changes?
Yes, if these changes are appropriate to the board and this is the final draft, what I will do is move this parallel with the donation boxes, so that when we adopt the donation box regs, we can adopt the final.
And you'll add that fee for that, and then we'll adopt it at
Yep.
the next meeting or whatever it's
So
done.
if the board would recognize this as final draft, I can move it forward with the edit of $75.
We didn't motion that?
We did, we motion second and,
Maybe motion is,
No.
you
Make a
motion
motion.
is,
$70 permit.
you don't, you
So I make a
motion
motion to
and,
accept this as final
Okay.
draft.
Second.
all those, discussion, any discussion? If none, all those in favor, final draft.
the previous vote was to set the food pantry fee.
All right.
We are D-U-N done.
Well, no, I still see like 5 things in this email.
No, there's not. Chairman's announcements, nothing.